coming to you live from the beautiful island of Maui, Hawaii. If you're new to the channel, I'm all about teaching you everything there is to know about Hawaii, and it's real estate, but you just can't find in the listing. And today I'm actually coming to you from one of my listings up here in the beautiful Mahana Estates, a neighborhood that kind of took off during COVID. You couldn't give away lots here for 10 years practically, and then during COVID, all of a sudden, boom, they all sold like hotcakes. Matter of fact, here, let me just get my camera squared away. There we go. A little better. I used to ride my one wheel up and down this neighborhood, because check it out. It had that was my wife calling me. Even though I'm on Do Not Disturb, it only works with people that are not in your contact list. So honey, I love you, but I'm working. No. Anyway, oh yeah, the title of this video, Maui real estate. What's the average price of a house on Maui? If that's why you clicked on this, I want to give you your answer right away. 1.7 million bucks. I'll put a link in the description. I'll pin a comment to our link tree, which is teamwestmaui.com, teamwestmaui.com. And in there, you won't just find a link to this particular piece of land that's for sale here in Mahana Estates in Kapalua, but you'll also find a link to the most recent Maui real estate statistics. So, excuse me, again, it's like, sorry babe, I gotta hit the ignore button. That's twice now. It's kind of funny because she does know that occasionally I do a live at sunset. Anyway, she doesn't know I'm doing one right now. All right, here we go. We got the new gimbal, by the way, with this beautiful selfie stick. It extends way out there. I don't know what the point of that is, but so I can look like I'm an Asian on vacation. You ever notice that? The Asians, man, they love the selfie sticks, man. They're walking up and down the beach. They're just selfie sticking. So anyway, as you can see, the sun is just setting. So this particular lot does pick up a nice ocean view. It does, the ball, you will see the sun, the ball, hit the ocean right there. At certain times of year, it will continue to move towards the island of Molokai. But let me just have some fun here and show you guys what the view is like from this lot. It is nuts. It's a wonderful neighborhood. As I mentioned, during COVID, land sales started to really pick up during COVID. All the sales started to pick up during COVID. And people were calling me wanting to buy land. So all of a sudden, like, well, gosh, I remember this neighborhood up in Kapalua that no one was, you know, all these lots were available. And I started doing one-wheel videos up and down. And all of a sudden, this place got crazy with the sales, completely sold out. The developer, Nan was the name of the developer. They couldn't sell any lots for years here. It took them about 10 years to fully put this development into play. And then during COVID, you know, they dropped all their prices in half practically. And then, and now all the prices are kind of back to what the developer originally they were, and maybe even more. But you can see there's lots of homes that have been up in the area. Now you might be asking yourself, what does it cost to build a home on Maui? Well, that does definitely vary. Depends on your builder, depends on how you can efficiently not cut the corners. You don't want a builder that's going to cut corners, but you know, how can you efficiently make sure you don't get, you know, for lack of a better phrase, get taken advantage of. And there's all kinds of opportunities for you to get taken advantage of in the home building process. So you just got to really have an eye for the bottom line and the details and stay heavily involved. But I'm going to say, all right, hang on a second, here we go. I'm going to say, if you need a builder, I know of some really good ones. Matter of fact, I have a list, if you're interested, I can send you, of all the vetted builders on the west side of Maui specifically, where I kind of focus my efforts. And also some of the best architects, and whoo, the trade winds are blowing. And I'd love to put you in touch and give you that list. And also do click the link, teamwestmaui.com, if you want to see all the statistics on that $1.7 million average cost of a home here, and all kinds of other statistics. I'm telling you, it is one of the most complete statistical reports on Maui, and I put it out every single month on teamwestmaui.com. So be sure to bookmark that particular site. And also, I have a beautiful home for sale in Kahana Ridge. That'll be at the top of the link tree as well. And also a piece of land I just listed in Lani Keha as well. So believe it or not, the market's getting pretty hot right now on Maui, and it's almost like exactly what happened during COVID. it was like this lull when everyone thought, oh man, the sky is falling, right? And then you started to see the high end start to move, because in my humble opinion, it's those high end guys that realize, hey, the best time to buy stuff is when everyone's in a grumpy mood, kind of, and things are not, you know, raging on fire, and everyone's, they're kind of against the bandwagon effect, is my experience. And that's what I started to see during COVID. The high end started to move, and now you're starting to see movement in the high end. When I say high end, I mean we have a $30 million property under contract right by the Montage, that beautiful, the most expensive home on West Maui. One in Kapalua Place just closed on the ocean. We have a $17 million home that just went under contract, about to close in Plantation Estates. And you're seeing a lot of land go under contract, especially in Laniapoko, Oluwalu, Ukamehame. So you're starting to see a lot of people make moves knowing that the market has gotten a little bit soft before it gets really hot again, which I believe it will. So anyway, enough real estate. Let's take a look at some beautiful Maui fixation as the clouds illuminate. Let me tell you a little bit about this neighborhood, what makes it so cool. So it's basically one street that goes up and down right there, right? And maybe I'll get on my one wheel. There's my truck. Hey buddy, my big buddy. There he is. Oh. Anyway, and these are good sized lots, man, anywhere from acre, I think they go up to like 2 and change. And what's really nice about this particular lot that we just did a price reduction on is the home has already been built below it. So this will be your forever view. You're not gonna have some home pop up right in front of you that's gonna block your view. The home's already up, look down here. And they built it way out of the view plane. And it's super low. So this is like theater style seating, where basically all the lots are kind of, they drop down like a theater, but there are some where you can get some roof blockage, don't get me wrong, but look at this beautiful house down here, huh? So they have been going up very consistently, these homes, ever since COVID, one by one by one, and obviously a lot of big, beautiful, epic homes. This is going to be one of the most premier neighborhoods. And I believe if you do buy a lot here and you build, you will have some instant equity, because you're going to see some massive comps come out of this neighborhood. You've already seen $6 million sales at the bottom of the hill. You're going to see some more, I believe, 5, 6, 7s come out of this neighborhood. So if you do the cost of building, which I think you can easily put something up in here from $600 to $800 a square foot if you don't get too worked over by the various forces, and you can do the math on that. And you can build an ohana here. It's got to be kind of goofy, like attached or some kind of breezeway or something, but you can have a home with an ohana. So it's just a beautiful neighborhood. Mahana Ridge is the name of this particular neighborhood. Again, there'll be a link in the description for teamwestmaui.com with a link to this land, the land in Lanikeha, the house I've got for sale in Kahana Ridge, and this is the view that you can expect. This is almost like a Laniapoko style view, but it's in Kapalua, and it is never-ending ocean. But it is more of that, I was going to say Ka'anapali. It's more of that Kapalua weather pattern. So what happens here basically is you get those beautiful trade winds, man. So if you look at a map, it's really interesting. If you look at one of the maps that's color-coded for rain, you'll see like Hana is purple, like drenched in rain, like 300 inches a year, kind of like the Big Island. Hilo side. You think Seattle's got a lot of rain? Forget about it, man. Hilo will get as much rain as Seattle in like a couple months. That's like purple. Then you have like green, then you have like lime green, then you have like yellow, then you have like orange, and you have red. And red is like desert, Lahaina, 10 inches of rain a year, maybe. And usually that'll come in one day, you know, just some big storm. Most of the time, just never rains. Then you've got yellow. And yellow to me is one of the most perfect environments that you can find on Maui, the yellow zone. The yellow is just a little bit of rain and a little bit of dry. It's just right in between, right? You get the trade wind flow, and so this spot right here in Kapalua is yellow, as is Kula. So it's the only two spots on Maui that have that yellow rain designation. And in my opinion, if you look at those maps, they are incredibly accurate. And you can just see the whole leeward side by the ocean is just red. It's just desert, basically. Other side of the island, the windward side, basically light green to Hana side purple, the east. So that yellow band to me is just perfect. If you're not into that never-ending hot summer and you just want that temperate coolness and just the right, look at this. This is not irrigated and it is dry right now. And look, we got grass growing all on its own, right? Just look at that. That's just that cane grass, and they got to keep cutting it like every few weeks because it just never stops getting the perfect amount of irrigation from the heavens here. And of course, in the wintertime, it gets a little bit cooler and rainier, but the summertime is just about perfect. So anyway, the yellow zone is what it's all about. And of course, right here, we're looking over at the beautiful island of Molokai. And that's the only island that you can see from here. And if we could see Oahu, because the earth was flat, which of course, then you would see it right here. But you can't see it because it is a globe. I hate to tell you that. Otherwise, you could see the lights of Oahu from right here. But if you go up a few more miles, which I've done on my dirt bike and my mountain bike, then you can see the lights of Oahu from over here, which is pretty cool. But at this elevation, you won't pick it up. So anyway, guys, I wanted to sneak in a quick live. I wanted to answer the question, if you're just joining the live, what is the average price of a home on Maui? 1.7 million bucks. Team West Maui. There's a link to the most recent real estate statistics for Maui. I put them up every single month. It's very, very detailed. So if you hit that link to the statistics, scroll down and you'll see it dives into west side, south side, Kula, Haiku, Hana, condos, land. It is a statistician's dream come true. But I think the numbers don't lie. Unless you're tallying votes during a presidential election. And they're all lying, those slimy bastards. But anyway, I'm gonna grab the one wheel, man, just for fun. Because you know what? The thing I love about my YouTube lives is I just don't care, man. I'm just having fun. It's just being me. I'm just being whatever, whoever, whenever. No agenda. Although today was a little bit of an agenda. I wanted to show off this beautiful piece of land. I wanted to make sure that if you are in the market to buy or sell real estate, you need to remember your favorite guy and keep in mind that when the market gets weird, that's when the smart money comes out. I've seen it time and time again. You know, it's the bandwagon effect you actually have to watch out for. But when not everyone is buying, that's when you got to start thinking, Like a friend of mine was just telling me about silver. He goes, no one buys silver when the price is dropping. They all buy it when the price is going up. Why wouldn't you buy it when it's dropping? That's the better deal. Now, am I saying prices on Maui are dropping? I wish. Hasn't happened yet. But don't believe me. Look in this Maui real estate statistics and you'll see that we've had growth month over month, year over year, in average price, median price. Okay. I'm almost to the one wheel. I wasn't planning on doing this, so let's see what my truck looks like. Okay. Here's what we got. We got a little backup battery right there, little energizer. Got the helmet for the mountain bike action. Got some beach towels because you never know when you're going to go surfing. And then, yeah, if I ever get to a situation where I can't get through a locked gate, which does happen occasionally, guess what? We're just going to bolt cutter our way through that. And the one wheel, that weighs a ton. Okay, here we go. Just a quick little jaunt, shall we? Now the kids recently rode the one wheel. So let's hope they charged it, which they probably didn't, but that's okay. All right, so this, in case you're curious, is my little buddy. Hang on a second. Oh man, I pushed the wrong button. Sorry about that. Here's my little buddy. That's one wheel. So that's called your land surf. So the only problem with surfing is the fact that sometimes there aren't waves. It's actually a huge problem with surfing. Man, if we could just fix that no wave problem. But unfortunately, we have to deal with it. So, then you have what's called your land surf mobile, which is the one wheel. How's this thing work? Look, you just push this little button right here. See that? Yes, she comes alive. And now, you can just land surf your brains out. Very intuitive, very easy to use, and super fun. All right, shall we just cruise a little bit? Why not? Let me give you the real estate tour. So let's just pretend we're in the car driving around. We just picked up a couple of nice espressos. Maybe it's an Americano. Maybe you're into like latte cappuccino. And now we're just cruising around Maui. I'm giving you the tour. I'm like, yes, sir. Look at that lawn, man. That's beautiful. Now, that's something you see out in the Midwest, right? That's a Midwest lawn right there, man. You know you're in a Midwest lawn when you need a riding mower. Like there's no way you could push mow it. So in the neighborhood. And one thing you'll notice is I'm on the one wheel right now, but it is braking for me. So if I was on a regular skateboard, obviously, I would be just flying down this thing, unable to brake. I can go down it as slow as I want or as fast as I want. Now, I of course, opt for slow because I'm old. That's right, I'm an old guy, but that's all right. With age comes wisdom, right? Right? I hope so. Maybe not. Maybe with age comes you think you're wise, but in actuality, you're just old. And you're stuck in your ways. No, with age comes wisdom, I'm convinced. I've seen enough young people do dumb stuff where I'm like, oh man, I remember when I was dumb. And I'm probably still learning a few lessons, but that's okay. That's what keeps life exciting, right? All right, let's keep looking around. And now we can zip right up it. So here's a home that's obviously still under construction. Imagine it, Ian, good job, Ian Hollingsworth. Very good builder, did a lot of work there in Launiapoco. He's one of my neighbors for a while when I lived in Launiapoco. But you can see some of the extensive site work that these homes have to undergo with all kinds of rock walls and irrigation and landscaping and palm trees, and these are all septic systems. You do have private water on the street and electricity underground, but you do need to put in a septic system. You can see most of them are probably going to have these beautiful infinity edge style pools, which is the perfect foreground for that never-ending infinity edge Pacific Ocean view. And then the neighborhood has also been beautifully landscaped with a lot of these cook pines that of course you see down in Kapalua on Office Road. So just imagine this in a few years when these towering pines are on both sides and it's Christmas season and they put up a bunch of Christmas lights and you're coming home to Maui after a long, brutal winter in Chicago attending meetings, and Santa sleigh bell is ringing over on Maui for you to come take a month off and get your tan back in shape. Yeah, I used to live in Chicago, so I know what that's all about, trust me. You know what my favorite thing was about Chicago? The people. Best people, man, I'm telling you what, the nicest people. Almost like Canadians, but Midwesterners. But you know, it really cracked me up when I lived there. I used to go on the Kennedy every single day. I had to drive from PT Towers, Presidential Towers, down off of, what was it, Madison? Man, this is going way back. This is the 90s. Sheesh! Showing you how old I am. 55, by the way. I can't drive. 50. All right, as you can tell, I don't sing for a living, but Sammy Hagar, yes, sir. I saw them, by the way, with Ozzy and what was it, Rock Fest, or I can't remember what it was. They took turns headlining. Was it Mile High Stadium? Anyway, 55, back to Chicago. Oh yeah, my favorite thing in Chicago, not my favorite thing, was the people. But the funniest thing I loved, right? Driving the Kennedy every day to work, or I was on the train, don't get me wrong, but there'd be a billboard, right? In the middle of the winter, and the billboard had this huge arrow just pointing that came out of the sign, like this huge arrow. And it said, "Are you tired of this?" And of course it's pointing at the clouds and the weather, right? "Are you tired of this?" And then over here was like another arrow, and it was like a palm tree and a little island and some person drinking a Corona with their, you know, in a hammock. But I just thought it was so classic that, "Are you tired of this?" Because my experience in Chicago was there's one day of spring, like one day you're like, oh man, we gotta go to the beach. We gotta go, you know, Lake Michigan, what was it? Oak Street Beach, yeah. And just one day of spring, just perfect weather. It's like, 99% humidity. And then same thing with the fall. Like one day of just perfect fall weather, and the next day it's like blowing 30 off the lake, and you're just like ticka 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 ticka. So anyway, good old Chicago, man. Division Street. I was there when the Bulls won, by the way, the first world championship. And I was out there on Division Street. We were in the bar, and we'd go outside the bar. We'd see ourselves on the TV. You know, it was cool, man. And then it got nutty, right? They started turning over cars and catching them on fire, and we're just like, whoa. A couple times I fell asleep on the L. I'd party a little too much, right? And I'd ride the L, the train, and I'd end up in South Chicago. And I'd wake up at the end of the line like, ooh, and I would just like crawl back up, fall asleep. And then I'd wake up at O'Hare. I'd be like, oh, dang it. Back to sleep. Those are the good old days, man. Probably these days I probably wouldn't have survived that. I've heard it's kind of gnarly down there. But yeah, that was the good old days. I had my last 20 bucks in my pocket at Division Street, and I was like, okay, I can buy another drink, or I can take cab fare, or another drink. It's like, yeah, I'll walk. Anyway, good times. All right, guys, so here's just a few more homes. You can tell this neighborhood, if you haven't seen this in a while, I mean, this neighborhood has just come together, man. I am telling you, it is unbelievable to see the transformation of this neighborhood and the homes that have gone up, the quality of construction, and how it just happened. Like, people get after it, you know what I mean? They get after it. It's like they don't just buy land, they like get after it. It's like, let's build, people. And it is possible. As you can see, this is proof that Maui County did at one point issue building permits. So you can do it. Just takes a little persistence and lots of cash. All right, guys, well, hey, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it as always. Much aloha to you and your ohana. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for going to teamwestmaui.com, checking out that land for sale, checking out that beautiful home in Kahana Ridge I just listed, 211 Kahana Ridge. It's an amazing place. Checking out Lani Keha lot. MKV just closed. Remember I predicted my MKV listing would sell the day before or the day it hit the market, and sure enough, went under contract the day it hit the market, just closed. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. I shall return. I'm turning up the hill now. Yes, sir. Maybe do a couple little tight turns. See if I can show you that. Hang on. Probably not. You probably don't care, but I do. All right, hang on, see if it'll do it. Is it coming in? Sort of? Man, I'm pushing the edge. I'm pushing the edge of this gimbal. I'm amazed this gimbal can do this right now. There we go. It's having fun, man. That's what it's all about, right? The way I look at it is, you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong. And if you ever move to Maui, you have like no excuse not to be having a good time every day of your life, because it's never-ending perfect weather. There's no bugs. There's a big giant ocean, God's swimming pool, just beckoning you to come look at turtles, or go for a surf, or go for a snorkel, or go for a swim. You got like places to hike. You got like passion fruit to go find in the jungle to eat. You've got guavas that are just, you can smell them when you're walking through the forest, the jungle. You're like, I smell guava, man. You can just go find yourself a guava. You've got the sun for ultimate never-ending vitamin D. It's one of the biggest problems we have in our world, I think, especially the Western world. We don't get outside enough and get the natural vitamin D going. You know, forget popping the vitamin D pill. Get outside and get the vitamin D going, because that's a huge part. I ain't buying it. I just watched a video that said the sunscreen actually lets in more of the rays that cause cancer. So you don't get the burn, because the burn is what would tell you, like, hey man, stop going in the sun. You can't handle it. But you put on the sunscreen and you don't get burned. But those rays still come through, and you don't get the vitamin D conversion. So hopefully you're starting to see that everything that they've invented is actually really bad. Just go back to the way we used to live in like 1747 and you'll be onto something. Right? When men were men and women were women. Oh no, we're not even gonna get into that topic, are we? Gosh, can you even believe it? This whole what? What? You can't make this stuff up. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, my dad said, this country's going down the tubes. I'm like, really? If that was happening then, man, we aren't just down the tubes, like we're in the sewer and we're washed out into the ocean already. We're just gone. I know, it's sad, huh? Man, where's this going? Between the P. Diddy freak, whatever, what? Shut up. All I gotta say is I hope some people end up in jail, like actual jail. I think they're just probably on another island somewhere. Hopefully not this one. All right, guys, thanks again. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. I shall return. I don't know where, I don't know when, but I promise you one thing. I'm always thinking about you, Blind Daniel, much aloha. Maui Dan, much aloha. And my wife, who I better call, because she's like, were you ignoring my calls? Where are you at? Like, come on, babe. I'm on the one wheel. Love you, Lise. Best stager on the planet, by the way. We offer complimentary staging. Matter of fact, there's a... Sorry, guys. Bad connection. I better stop talking. Till next time, Eric West out. Much aloha. But just to finish that sentence, we offer free staging, complimentary staging. And I just found out about this seller that's thinking about listing her home. And this other agent came in and said, yeah, we'll stage your home, but it's going to be $18,000. So this agent is trying to charge this poor lady 18 grand. And then the lady was like, and it's going to be mostly my furniture. Can you believe it? So anyway, staging, accessorizing makes a huge difference, but you don't want to get stuck paying an agent 18 grand for it. So we offer ours, complimentary, on the house. And Lisa, she's the best. All right, guys. Till next time, Eric West. Maui Dan, where's the button?